It's Reiki Day! Let's go. Bringing you prayer. Bringing you universal life force energy. Reiki. Bringing up the Earth's energy. Bringing down the angels and their energies, heavenly hosts, all to create the planetary Reiki Gaia angel prayer infused flow. Welcome to Reiki Day Live, and I'm your host, Brother James. So let's get into the flow. Assalamu alaikum to my Muslim family. Happy Reiki Day to you. I hope you feel as charged as I do. I mean, I couldn't get to sleep last night, so please forgive me if I make any mistakes or anything. But you know, when you do things like this and God speaks through you, Allah speaks through you, sometimes you just, it just your mind keeps running and rolling, and uh, and it's not that easy to get to sleep. And the next thing you know, you wake up and I'm late. So you just run as fast as you can to get everything done. So we're going to start off with prayer as we always do. So everybody assume the prayer position, and you can say the prayer after me as I say it aloud. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praises is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. Master stage at which we do now live. Thee alone do we serve, thee alone do we beseech for thine aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom thy wraths brought down, nor those who have gone astray. Ameen. So once again, Assalamu alaikum. And in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. And I greet you once again with the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Family, I don't plan on being long. And I know some of you like, really? But I don't plan on being long. But I just want to give us what Allah shared with me and help us to understand some points that we may need to brush up on, some of us may not have known, and show us and remind us that prayer is communication with Allah, but we have to make sure that we don't get stuck in just thinking about it in a traditional way. Now, when we think about Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, when he was given the night journey, where he was taken to the inner sanctum of Allah, and he was given prayer to bring back to us. Remember that he was given 50 times a day first, but then on his returning back, he runs into Moses, and Moses, tells him, you might want to go back because it's going to be hard to get the people to do that. And so kept going back and forth until it got down to 5. Now, what I want to talk to us about is what Allah gave me to talk about is consistency. Now, we're given a clue just in that part right there that originally God wanted 50 times a day, which is basically a prayer every half hour. And then in 2 of those hours, it would end up being 3 times to make 50 times a day. Really sit and think about that. He's giving us something there. Because what he's really saying to us is we are to be in constant communication with him. I know that we have our 5 prayers, but that's really not enough. That was enough to give us a foundation. But what we don't want to do is get caught up in thinking that that means doing the prescribed prayers, rakas, and so on and so forth. Because, technically speaking, if you did that, we would literally not have any time to do anything. But what he's really saying to us, as I've said before on during the other days of prayer, is that he wants us in communication with him like he's our best friend, like he is our father. You know how you can get on the phone and talk for hours, and next thing you know, you look up and it's 2 and 3 a.m. Well, that's the consistency that he wants us to get to. Again, not saying you got to say a long prayer, but remember, prayer is just communication. So it means talking to him about anything, about everything. You know, all of our major decisions should go through him. And we're asking, what should we do? Is this the right time? Should I build my business or should I not? And when we do that and stay in communication with him, then he can grow us into him. As I said, the last days of prayer, that's the ultimate aim of prayer, is for us to be made one with Allah, not as a God besides Allah, but as a God by his permission, because that's what he's training us to be. If he is truly your teacher, then you become whatever you're taught. And so what he wants us to do is to come up to that level where, as Jesus had once said, I say what the Father says. He knows what I do because I'm doing his will. Isn't that what Muslim means? Total submission unto the will of God. Well, you can't do his will if you don't know his will. So that communication makes it possible for you to do what he brought you into creation to do. And that consistency, like I said, that 50 times a day was an indication as to what it takes to really get there, because you need for Allah to consume you. He's already within you. But the question is, have you opened up that pathway for him to begin to start speaking through you? Are you talking to him enough that you know his name, his voice? You know when he starts giving you hints. This is what will allow us to really have life, and life more abundantly. Because the more we speak with him, the more things we can do. The Holy Quran says he's closer to us than our jugular vein, which is inside. And that's how you know he's inside. He's already here with us. So when we're making prayers, part of our prayer is going to the inside of us, because that's where he is. And we must make sure that we understand that. Because as we pray more and more, and we understand that it's going inside and outside, then we come to the understanding that in order to truly be successful with prayer, it's not just you making the prayer, but there's a part that we have to do as well. You're asking Allah to bring it into fruition, but we always have to remember there's a part that we have to play. We cannot allow ourselves to fall into that mindset of making prayer and doing nothing but just waiting. The Honorable Louis Farrakhan said that you pray like it depends on Allah, and work like it depends on you. Now, when you keep that balance and you keep that consistent, then you constantly find yourself evolving, ascending, because the more you speak with him, you know that the Holy Quran says that that's the greatest force. The remembrance of Allah is the greatest force. So the more we keep him on our mind, keep communication with him, then we have a greater force to use against the forces that are against us. So we evolve. We learn more how to do things, how to think, how to act, how to treat others that help make us successful. And we also always have to remember, as I've already said at the last days of prayer, prayer is a two-way street. And therefore, we need to accompany prayer with meditation. No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how it should be. Nobody likes a one-sided conversation. You know, it's nice that you're talking to Allah, but remember, he wants to talk back, or he is answering. But the question is, are we listening? Are we tuned in to his frequencies so we can hear what he is giving to us so we can manifest our prayer? So you couple the prayer with meditation because the meditation allows you to hear what's being said. You know, you got to go to the desert, you got to get quiet so that as he's talking, you can hear it. And that will allow you to see when he's moving in our lives to help us to manifest. Because as I just said a couple of minutes ago, if Allah is within me and Allah is within you, who are we praying to when we pray? We're praying to Allah, but he's in different sources. He's within everything in his universe that he created. So therefore, when you pray, those forces that Allah within everything can be marshaled to come to your aid to answer your prayer. I'm going to say that one more time. When you pray, since Allah is within all of his creation, then think of it as a network. As you ask Allah within you, it's also going to all the other pieces of Allah. Then it can be aligned to bring you what you need. But remember, the answer to prayers is not magical in the sense of something just gets dropped on you. You know, you prayed for some money and all of a sudden it just appears at your feet. By marshaling those forces, Allah can make a pathway that gives you the opportunity to have your prayer answered. Say that one more time. When you pray, Allah can marshal the forces, the other pieces of him, if you will, to bring to you what you need, whether it be a person or any other means. Now it could come to you. So we have to make sure that we keep a good understanding of how prayer works so that we don't make mistakes. For instance, we know that the Holy Quran says that Allah says that struggle is ordained. Allah says struggle is ordained. So that means you can't get around it. So it almost would be silly to ask for a prayer that you never struggle again. Not when Allah already ordained it. That's in the Holy Quran. So we also got to be careful and mindful of what we're praying for. Because are we in alignment with Allah when we're making this prayer? We have to be mindful of that. Um, If struggle is ordained, then that means that it's something that we need to learn from the struggle. Sometimes we forget. The Holy Quran says that Allah created his creation in 6 periods. So, what that helps us to understand is, again, we shouldn't be thinking about prayer and everything is supposed to be instantaneous. Because if Allah took 6 periods, what makes you think you could do it faster or better? We have to keep these things in mind, keep it in proper perspective. It's going to take time. And that's why he's constantly striving to train us to do things. He gives us a methodology of doing things, of being a certain way and acting a certain way to make things more conducive for us to get our prayers answered. A lot of the times, it's us who steps in our own way because we don't want to act right. We want to do what we want to do. Part of what Allah showed me is we have to remember when Allah answers prayers, it's for the greater good of everybody. That's why you get that cycle. That's why they say things are cyclical. Because everything is not bound around one person. Allah is looking out for everything. So somebody has to be high and somebody else is lower. And then it's going to move up, come down, move up, come down, because this is a way that Allah has set up in the universe to make sure that everything can be taken care of. So we have to be patient. We have to put in the work, be praying to him, but be able to see when he's doing things for us for our prayer. That's another folly that we fall into. We try to put a law in our box. Oh, well, I think it should come this way. Especially sometimes we go the wrong way. You start talking about games of chance that that's not his way. I'm not saying that you can't be blessed, but that that's not his true way. Because when he created the universe, he created the energy, but he didn't use a game. It's a methodology, but he didn't use gameplay because that doesn't keep order when you leave everything to chance. But when you stay within the confines of creation and how he made it for things to flow, then we can better able see where we are in the flow. And then your prayers can be aligned as such. For instance, if you see that you're starting to be blessed, okay, business is doing well. If you keep in mind that you go up, but you ultimately are going to have to come down some, then that automatically means that you got to save. These are the lessons that help us to keep our prayers and our manifestation high. It's staying within the confines that Allah has already created. As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Learn to work with it. And so when you go into the ebb and flow of things, and now you're prepared, to put some money away. I'm going high. So let me put some money away. Let me put some of these blessings away. Because I know ultimately I may not hit the ground, but I know I'm going to come down. There's going to be a point where things level off. And there's also going to be a point where things can go below. So you prepare for it. So when we start saying our prayers, we need to keep these things in mind and align our prayers with where we see we are. But in order to have that sight, again, That's why the prayer is so important, because we need to keep that open lines of communication with Allah so he can guide us and we know where we are. Also, a reason to keep your angelic host around. You know, Allah created all these things to benefit man and woman, but are we using them? And are we consistently using them in the right way? You know, some of us make prayers, it seems like it's not being answered, and now we're mad. And some of us get bold enough to be mad at Allah, forgetting again, you have to pray like depends on him, but work like it depends on yourself. So you got to ask yourself, am I really giving 100%? Am I doing all that I should be doing? Again, in that ebb and flow, there's sometimes where you are definitely making a lot of money, definitely having a lot of blessings, but then there's a time where you have to slow down, look at everything that's happening. And you have to realize that sometimes it's a time of study, not a time of grinding. No, that's the way how you further yourself and further the things that you want. Sometimes it's work, work, work. Sometimes it's okay. Technology is moving forward. I got to catch up. So sometimes you got to sit back, take inventory. As I used to tell my sons, you need an overview day, a day where you're not grinding, but you're looking at your works and seeing what's working. Again, the more you pray and you keeping this communication with Allah and you're asking him, okay, Allah, is this the right time? Allah, I feel stagnant. What should I do? And then you listen, he's going to be giving you the answer. But again, we have to develop enough where we can hear and see when he's moving, where he's moving. Because a lot of times, like I said, we put him in our box, but he's working over here. Sometimes he may have your enemy working for you, but you got to be able to see it. And the best way to do that is to keep that prayer moving between the two of you, keeping a closeness to that Allah within inside you, recognizing when you see Allah in another person, when you see the movement. And that's how it should be. That's why we're supposed to be an ummah, one family. Because when those prayers start rolling out and you have developed the law within you, and I've developed the law within me, then they're communicating. And that's when we become a benefit to each other, not a hindrance. If we're keeping the laws, now we're working for each other, even if we don't necessarily see that we're working for each other. Because the Allah within me is talking to you, to the Allah within you. And now things are being designed to happen. So when you have the mosque, the masjid, and you have 100 or so believers, that's a lot of Allah that has a chance to move and make moves. And that's where we have to get to, because that is what Allah has always wanted for us, is that he is developed enough within us as a unit, and then we move as a unit, and then he's moving through us. You know, we've all heard about, you know, how things could get moved in the right place at the right time. You met that person at the right place at the right time, and it ended up being something of benefit to both of you. That's Allah at work. But again, In order to develop to that level, you got to have the communication with Allah. And remember, prayer is not just doing a certain rakas. This is what I mean by he really wants us talking to him as a best friend, because that's what allows him to teach and train us. Remember that original man and original woman. These two were taught directly by God. So just imagine how powerful they were when God is your teacher. Well, Allah extends that to us through prayer. You get a chance to learn your lessons if you're truly seeking Him. And what do I mean by that? I was saying today is about consistency, but it's not just about the consistency of, well, I know I'm good. I'm doing five prayers a day. And I make my 5 prayers every day. Okay, you're doing those 5 prayers, but are you just doing it out of tradition? Are you really putting yourself in your prayer, or are you just making the prayer? Just going through the motions is what I'm saying. Are we going through the motions, or are we really putting ourselves into that prayer? That prayer, we mean the prayer that we're making. And especially, are we just asking for ourselves? Or are we begin to be like Allah and we want the higher good for all? As I said earlier, that's why there's an ebb and flow. That's why there's an up and a down, because he's looking out for everyone and everything that he has created. Everything meshes together and has a flow, you know? So the question is, when we're making these prayers, number one, are we being careful about what we're praying? Because are we praying against ourselves or against Allah? Like I said, struggle is ordained. So you making prayers to never have struggle, you're going against yourself. You're going against the law that Allah gave to us. Are you being consistent in the times? Are you really making your 5 prayers? We all know how hard that is, especially living here in the West, in America, because it's a grind society. Everybody's got to go, 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 go. You know, but truly, are we being consistent with understanding the methodology of how prayer works? Why are you making 5 prayers? Do you understand that part? Or are you just doing it because that's what you was told? Are you really putting yourself into the prayer and then going to work? These are all the things that we have to put together to make prayer help to really manifest what we are asking for, to make the better world that we're looking for. Prayer is absolutely necessary. But like I said, you pray, then you meditate. And once you get the word from Allah, now you got to go to work. You don't sit around, you go to work. You marshal forces. He gives you a part of marshaling the forces. But you got to be also paying attention to what he's doing in front of you, because he's opening up the path, but you got to see it. And then you got to remember that the goal is for you to be like him. But what does he do? He does things for the greater good. He follows laws because he made them. How well are we doing at that? Are we looking into the laws to try to get the understanding? Well, why did Allah make it so things work like this? See, what I'm saying to you is what I've said before. He wants to sit down with us. He's opened the door. Table is there. It's just time for us to come to the table and understand that we have to follow the path that he has made for us if we want to be successful. You can have a temporary success, but if you want any type of longevity, you got to stay in communication with him. But we've got to open up our minds to really understand the value of prayer and what it's really meant to do. Like I said, he wants to make us one with him so he can see himself wherever he looks. And we act like him, or we become him actually. And he's working through us. And that's how we really begin to open up a brand new world where everybody can manifest, but with an understanding that there's going to be a high and a low. But the low doesn't necessarily mean you're at the ground. The low could mean that nobody goes below 10, but there's some that could be at 100 and all in between. And that's the real aim, the real goal is to get to that point where we are him, he is us. We manifest his will, which then allows things to be at peace. We're at peace with one another. We're at peace with all of creation. Then he can allow us to see more and more and do more and more. So the consistency that we're looking at achieving is to be consistent with communication with him, prayer, but understand the 50 times, like I said, would mean like literally making a prayer every half hour. So keep that in your mind. That's you want to talk to him as much as you can, especially about everything. So he'll help you balance out your life, help us to make better decisions so that we keep a certain level of peace on the entire planet. And then we won't have to necessarily do things like we're doing today, doing Reiki Day, but we have to heal ourselves and heal the planet because we'll be working within the universal laws. We'll be taking care and thinking of each other. And when we do that consistently, then we bring heaven to earth, which is what I think I can say just about all of us want. And that's what Allah wants for us. So I thank you for allowing me to share that with you. But again, please take it to heart. If we want out of the dark times that are coming, and I know we all see it, there's a lot of fear around the whole planet right now. A lot of stuff happening, things changing very rapidly, very quickly. So we need that communication, prayer with Allah. So, like I said, we can find out where we are in the flow and make proper decisions so that as we can ride through that flow, we're going to see that upside again. If you panic and allow fear and anxiety to take over, then we crash. Now we're out of the loop because we're not looking at things right. We start making wrong decisions. And these wrong decisions can definitely be very damaging. So keep up prayer. Just keep up prayer, but understand the things that we have discussed today. Look at what I was telling you before: prayer, meditation, work like it depends on you, pray like it depends on Allah, but be watchful. He's going to be working. Always remember that the remembrance of Allah is the greatest force, which means that whatever force is in opposition to you, he can help you to overcome it. But we have to stay in submission to him. So I thank you. I pray that this shed some light. Um, Allah was just constantly giving me bits and pieces yesterday. And well, not just yesterday, for this week. And I'm just happy to be able to share it with you. So I pray this will help you, help us to help ourselves and each other to get where we need to go. So when this darkness comes upon us, we have enough light that we'll be okay. So with that, um, I'm going to say prayer. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm going to introduce to you the harmonic prayer that Allah gave to me maybe two Reiki days ago. But he wanted me, or I say he told me that I had to hold off until this Reiki day to show it to us. Now, what we're going to be doing, I'm sorry, it's called harmonic prayer. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating prayer energy from ourselves. Then we're going to be calling on Allah to give us his energy, calling on angels to bring their energy to help heal ourselves. And then we'll funnel it to the planet. But in order for this to work, as you just heard me say in the days of prayer, in order for this to work, you have to put your full intention into it. I'm asking everybody to use their full will, mind, body, soul, spirit, and intention and put it into the words of the prayer that we're about to make. And it's going to be interesting because you'll be somewhat in a meditative state while you're making the prayer, which should be interesting for a lot of us. And then you just listen and just follow what I'm saying to you so we can create this energy and then we can flow it through ourselves and flow it through the planet. So everybody take a prayer position. Um, close your eyes as you normally would and just follow along as I tell you what to do. Okay. Take some deep breaths, breathing in light and exhaling all negative energies. Now feel yourself relaxing as you take each breath. Now call on your guardian angels to cleanse your space and you. Those of us that are energy sensitive, you should feel your guardian angels. You should feel their energy around you and them cleansing you. Now ask to be connected with your higher self and ask it to take over this harmonic prayer. Now say, I ask for the angels to encircle me. Now, again, those of us that are energy sensitive, you may feel their presence around you. Don't be scared. but just be thankful that they're there. And now we will begin the prayer. O Creator of all that is, please repeat after me.
O Creator of all that is,
We humbly come before you
we humbly come before you
in need of your grand healing hands
in need of your grand healing hand
to bring the earth back
bring back
into the balance
into the balance
of optimal health.
of optimal health.
Please empower us
Please empower us
by your healing hands
by your healing hands
to aid
to aid
in the healing
in the healing
of our planet
of our planet
as we ask you
as we ask you
to bring down
to bring down
your mighty healing energy
your mighty healing energy
to the planet
to the planet
and to allow it
and to allow it
to flow through us
to flow through us
so we may add
so that we may add
to it
to it
and be healed
and be healed
ourselves.
ourselves.
Now feel the energy that you have created with the sincerity of your prayer. Just allow yourself to just feel it because you said that prayer with such intent, putting your full will into it. Allow yourself to feel that energy that you have created. All right, let yourself feel it. And think of all of those whom you want to be healed. And let your prayer energy grow for them. Think of everything that you want to be healed and let that energy grow. Feel it grow because you want so much healing to be given to the human family, to the animal family, to the planet. Let it grow. And then sit in the energy for a little while with thoughts on healing yourself and others. Don't be shy. You know, sometimes we want to heal others more than ourselves. Balance it out. Really want that healing for yourself and really want that healing for others. Woo, I can feel it. Let it grow. Let it grow. Now ask the Creator to flow His energy to you now. Feel that energy. It's flowing to you. He's flowing it to you. Feel it. Feel it. As you feel the energy flow to you, flow it through you. Like let it come in. Let it flow through all of your body. Take it in. Whew, that's intense. Let it come in. Let his energy just flood through you. And we're just going to sit with it a little while, just so you know you're feeling it, so you can Feel it circulating from your head to your toes. Let it flow. Feel yourself being healed as it's flowing. Know that you're being healed as it's flowing. When you feel like your healing has been fulfilled, you feeling his energy just all through you, it's just saturated you. Point your hands to the ground and see the energy go in and throughout the earth, cleansing and rejuvenating it. That's right. Funnel that energy into the earth. Have the intent for it to go into the earth and just heal it wherever it goes. Feel it flow through your hands. Know that it's cleansing and rejuvenating the earth because we know we have contaminated it and it needs to be rejuvenated. It needs to be cleansed. Keep that on your mind. Now say harmonize.
Harmonize.
And feel the energy harmonize and feel the creators and your energy harmonize. Whew. It's okay if it's intense. Just relax. Just relax. But you're just feeling the energy harmonizing together, letting you know that you can harmonize with your creator's energy because his energy is already in you. And just let it harmonize. Stay here for a little while, feeling the harmonized power flowing through you to the earth. Let it flow. And know that once again, you are being healed as you're healing the earth. This is your place of abode. You share the energy of the earth. So you want it to be cleansed. You want the earth to be healed. It plays a role in keeping you healed. Now, get ready for it. Now say angels,
Angels.
energy,
Energy.
harmonize.
Harmonize.
Oh, yeah. So now you're feeling the angels' energy harmonizing with Allah's energy and your energy. And just keep letting it build and letting it flow. Feel the circle of the angels' energies flow into you. Then feel it harmonize with the creators and your energy. And continue to see it flow into and around the earth. And we're going to just let the energy keep flowing. Keep flowing. Let yourself feel it as you're being healed, as you're healing the earth. Let it flow. Now say align.
Align.
And continue the flow, the energy into the earth until you feel it is done. So just let the energy keep flowing until you don't feel it or something inside of you says that you have finished. Let it flow, let it flow. Let yourself feel the energy. See the energy flowing out of your hands into the earth. Now say these 4 lines with the intent, gratitude, sincerity, humbleness, and thought of atonement with the earth, angels, the creator, and yourself. So repeat these lines after I say them. I love you.
I love you.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
I'm sorry.
I am sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to say it 2 more times. I love you.
I love you.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
I'm sorry.
I am sorry.
Thank you.
Thank
I love you.
I love you.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
I'm sorry.
I am sorry.
Thank you.
Thank
Now just stay there for a few moments. I hope you're feeling good because I'm feeling good. Now ask the angels to close you and the earth off and to cut all energy ties for you, the earth, and the creator. Now give thanks to the creator, your higher self, and your guardian angels, and all other angels that encircled you. Place or see your feet on the ground and say, I am now grounded.
I am now grounded.
And when you are ready, open your eyes. And let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, all right, all right. How are you feeling?
Charged, recharged.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. How did it, were you able to feel the different energies as they came through?
Mm-hmm. They were subtle. They were subtle, but yes, through my hands. That's the part that was active this time in meditation.
Right. So everyone, we have finished the harmonic prayer, and I pray that it had the effect on you that it had on me. I mean, I definitely was feeling it. I was feeling it more on my right side than the rest of my body, but I definitely felt it. So this is the new harmonic prayer that was given to me, and I'm sharing it with you. And we're going to put this up on House of Healing Light on YouTube, our podcast channel, for you to enjoy whenever whenever you want to. So, with that, I thank you, and we will see you again. But let me make prayer. Let's close out. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praises are due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. Master, this day judgment which we do now live, thee alone do we serve, thee alone do we beseech for thine aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom thou wrath brought down, nor those who've gone astray. Ameen. All right, everybody. Everybody have a blessed day. Please continue to um, pay attention to all the classes. And we want to see you there because that's part of getting your power. You know, prayer helps, but remember there's things that undergird prayer as well. You got to have the energy to pray. You also have the energy to do what's necessary to manifest your prayer. So we want you to um, make sure that you take the other classes, throne of self, especially. You need to get your throne, get your power back. Know thyself, um, especially the class to cleanse the earth. That would be the Gaia connection class or the planetary aura cleanse. Take these classes that will arm you with the energy to start affecting yourself and the world, clearing some of these things out that we need to get clear. All right. So with that, I say peace.